Who child? Okay, welcome again to the Darren Green Show, your one-stop shop for celebrity gossip, news and music, pop culture, and the latest gab on social media. Be sure that if you are watching this on YouTube to leave your thoughts in the comments, leave a like. And if you're not subscribed to the channel, girl, what's going on, honey? Subscribe to that ZM channel, okay? And also for the audio listeners, hey, be sure to leave a rate and review for the podcast below. We love those. We definitely have to stay in the algorithms, honey, because they be trying us. Shout out to the We Are You Radio listeners. This is the Monday show. What's going on? Happy Monday. It is October 28th. We are almost at Halloween, period. This month is going by so fast. It's basically going, child, after this week. After this week. I've always felt like that. I always felt like October felt like, it feels like a whole like week, like one big week. That's what October feels like. And then November is going to feel like a century. It's going to feel like it's 5 weeks. Like, it's crazy how time flows and all that other stuff and when it comes to the months and stuff like that. I don't know if I'm going to be dressing up, child. The place I work at, they're like, oh my God, Darren, you should definitely dress up. I have an idea of what I want to be because I want to be one of the little Slytherin characters, Harry Potter, like Slytherin, because I feel like that's my house. That is definitely if it was really a Hogwarts out there, the hat would pick me to be Slytherin. So that's why I want to be for Halloween. Because I love the little black with the green and then the little tie and stuff. But I could not find a place that has it in my size, honey. We real big back over here. So I've just been trying to do that. I'm just like, I don't know. Like, I'm not, and I don't know. The older you get, it's a real, do I want to dress up, child? I'm gonna look crazy. I don't know. But I'm gonna see. I might take some pictures. I might post it on a little community tab. Y'all see me, child. But other than that, child, I have definitely been MIA this week as far as like content wise. Like, I have not been posting on TikTok. Obviously have not been posting on YouTube. Didn't give you guys a Wednesday show. There's just a lot going on. I just feel like some days I just want to be a little reclusive and to myself and watch some of my shows, honey. I started watching Beauty in Black. I guess the first segment is going to be like what I've been watching, what I've been catching up with. Tyler Perry's new show, child, Beauty in Black. It reminds me of P-Valley. And I will say this, because I know I talked about Tyler Perry previously in other episodes and stuff like that. This is definitely predictable. It's definitely something that I've seen before. It's the same storyline, but I don't know. Something about this one is just drawing me to it a little bit more. I don't know. Maybe because he got some gay shit in there too. It got a little bit of gay storylines, child. T.S. Madison is in there. There's a lot of queer plot lines and stuff like that and underlining things that's going on over there. It has to do with the strip club and stuff like that. So that's why it reminds me of P-Valley a little bit. So I don't know. It's definitely holding my attention. I will say this though. I know that Tyler Perry stuff is very much the same and a lot of his actors don't really act well. I will say that these are unknown actors or actors I never even heard of, but they, let's see, how can I put it? They're keeping my attention. Like, usually I really zone out when I'm watching like new Tyler stuff. You get what I'm saying? Especially when it comes to like his shows like Sisters or Bruh or whatever he's trying to promote on BT and all that. It just, they go through the motions. They're saying their lines, but they're not, I don't really feel any emotion or anything like that. This one I do. It's very predictable and it's very like slapstick comedy almost with some of the antics that he be having on there. But I will say the acting is definitely complimenting, you know, the lines and stuff like that. And I actually believe these characters when they say the words that they say. And I don't know. I think it's a little bit better. I'm enjoying myself with this show for the first time in forever. I'm enjoying content from Tyler Perry. Let's be very clear. I don't know why that check mark was there, and I don't know why that's recording, but it's a lot going on right now, child. But I tell you another thing before I get into these topics, I know that's what y'all want to hear, child. I almost had 5 conniptions before this dang taping of this damn show. Let's be very clear, okay? This damn computer, the system that I use, Streamlabs, for the people that are into content creation, y'all should know what Streamlabs is. Girl, get on it because I love the quality of it. And that's what I use for my video making and how I'm able to share the screen and give y'all different things and all the stuff. It decided not to work today. Like it had to update because it always has to update every freaking 3 times a month. Today it just did not want to work. So I had to re-download it. And when I re-download it, nothing popped up. My dang camera wouldn't connect. My headphones, my microphone and everything. So it was a whole thing. You almost didn't get a show. Okay. So I was over here trying to figure out what's going on with this and figure out what's going on with that. But anyway, I ended up finding the way because, girl, I always do. But yeah, that's why I might be a little bit flustered with this episode, child. But I promise you it will be a good show. We have a lot to get into. We got to talk about how CNN got dragged all week, child. They got dragged by the internet, and then they got dragged by Charlemagne Tha God. We'll get into that. CNN and Anderson Cooper. We'll get into that. We'll talk about Beyonce and Kelly Rowland at Kamala Harris's rally and what people have to say about that. Solange battling multiple health issues. Yeah, we'll talk about that as well. Megan Thee Stallion drops Act 2, and she's going to be dropping an Act 3 soon. Okay, that's interesting. Abercrombie and Fitch. Okay, the CEO was arrested for sex trafficking. Oh my goodness, child. And we will close with Bobby Lytes and him wanting to sue Tommie for the things that she said. All that and more coming up on the Darren Green Show. All right, so the first topic that we're going to get into, we got to talk about how CNN and Anderson Cooper, child, they was getting the heat, okay, from users on social media to Charlemagne Tha God. They have really been going through it. We're going to start off with, I guess they had a town hall with Kamala. And people just had some stuff to say. Now, apparently, I'm going to read this little excerpt. I'm going to give you guys some thoughts. CNN and Anderson Cooper are trending on X following Vice President Kamala Harris's town hall on the network last night, with many viewers expressing outrage over perceived biases. Critics are calling out the network for holding Kamala Harris to an impossible standard compared to the former President Donald Trump. Okay. One person tweeted, "What's apparent is that CNN holds Kamala to an impossible standard. They don't apply this to Trump. It's bias." Another person tweeted, "I'm so damn tired of the black women in this race being held to 1,000% higher standards for policies than a convicted felon, sexual predator, white man. So very damn exhausted." Okay. They're speaking their minds. And here's some of the stuff that was said on here. This is and this is Anderson Cooper. He got thrown in there because he's like spearheading this, right? Here's some of the stuff that was said.
50 times you called it stupid, useless, and a medieval vanity project. Is a border wall stupid?
Let's talk about Donald Trump and that border wall. So remember, Donald Trump said Mexico would pay for it? Come on, they didn't. How much of that wall did he build? I think the last number I saw was about 2%. And then when it came time for him to do a photo op, you know where he did it? In the part of the wall that President Obama built.
But you're agreeing to a bill that would earmark $650 million to continue building that wall.
I pledge that I am going to bring forward that bipartisan bill to further strengthen and secure our border.
To fix the problem, you're doing this compromise bill. It does call for $650 million that was earmarked under Trump to actually still go to build the wall.
I'm not afraid of good ideas where they occur.
So you don't think it's stupid anymore?
I think what he did and how he did it did not make much sense because he actually didn't do much of anything. I just talked about that wall, right? We just talked about it. He didn't actually do much of anything.
But you do want to build some wall.
I want to strengthen our border.
Yeah, and that's a little bit of what they talked about here. Now, here's my thing before I get into the other part of this topic, Charlemagne and his words. I think that they are not like holding Trump to that same standard because, you know, Trump is a narcissist and he is like one of those people that will, if you challenge him on something, he will shut down and be like, all right, actually, I don't have to have this conversation with you and walk out. And that was your time with him. You got what I'm saying? Time wasted. You wasn't able to ask all the questions that you were able to ask because he's going to walk out and potentially like not. Or not only that he's going to walk out, but he's not going to answer the questions. So why even give it to him? I don't think that people should go easier on Kamala, but I think that people should keep that same energy. We all know, and then this example that this blog had posted, the clip of them talking about the wall and how stupid you made comments like, oh, building the wall is stupid or whatever, and money, and you talking about this. We know that his plan for building that wall was not good. Of course it was dumb. Of course she said that. Everybody was saying that. Okay, most people were saying that. I don't know. I think that I understand where some people are coming from when they're saying like, oh my goodness, like when it comes to black people, when it comes to black women in general, you know what I'm saying? Like they have to appear to be like 100,000% better, and they get thrown in. Trump don't get half of this flack. You get what I'm saying? He doesn't get half the flack when he gets on these interviews. I just saw the interview that he did with, what's his name? I forgot his name, child. Joe Rogan. There we go. And I'm not saying that Joe Rogan went easy on him, but like Joe Rogan really did not ask like any of the heavy hitter questions that he usually do when he has people on. Now that's one person I do not. I don't really watch his stuff like that. I don't get into his content like that. I'll watch a clip from his or interview with him if it got like somebody that I like that's on there. But he does give, he gives the questions, and them questions is not comfortable sometimes for the people that sit down and go on his platform. But I will say this, when Trump got on there, it was definitely like a stark difference. It was definitely something different about this interview. I'm not saying that, you know, he took it easy on Trump, but the conversation was pleasant. Okay. More pleasant than what they do for Kamala. And the fact that this is coming from like Anderson Cooper, like Anderson, like the last couple days, let's be very clear, I just be wanting to know, where do you stand? Like, politically, and I get it. If you want to be a centrist or whatever you want to, that's fine. We all know that CNN is, I'm not saying CNN is going to the right, but they are definitely toting the line. And it does look like they give Trump a little bit of leeway and not really come for him like that. And this is something that Charlemagne brought up, okay, when he was interviewed by Anderson. Now here's that conversation.
This network about is Kamala Harris black than I do about Donald Trump being a fascist.
Honestly, that's bullshit. I'm sorry.
Oh, I like that.
That's, no,
Go ahead, Anderson.
I'm not. Look, I'm a huge fan of yours.
Okay.
But to say that we're sitting around discussing is Kamala Harris black, like
I've seen that. I've seen those roundtable discussions a lot. Now that's bullshit, Anderson. For you to say that y'all don't have those conversations.
I've never asked somebody is.
I'm not saying
Kamala
you.
Harris
I said the
black.
network.
He said the network.
I don't think anyone on. I don't think any anchor on this network has been going around saying, "Is she black?"
Y'all have never had
We have had. Look, I'm sure we have had nutty people or people who have strongly held beliefs who I may disagree with, who somewhere on some panel have said something, but I will just speak up for what I do on the show. I do believe it's important to get people different viewpoints as long as they're willing to have a legitimate conversation. What I don't like are surrogates who come out and just spout talking points that they don't even believe. And those are people I tried to eliminate from having ever on the air again.
I think no network has honest conversations about Donald Trump. Nobody's had honest conversations about Donald Trump since 2016. I saw last night they were talking about the double standard that exists between Donald Trump and the vice president. But it's always a double standard with Trump, whether it's with Hillary, whether it's against Biden, now with Kamala. We talk about him being a threat to democracy, but we don't treat him like one.
And I don't mess with Charlemagne. Let's be very clear on that. I don't mess with Charlemagne at all, but I think that what he said here was very important. What he said here was very valid. I thought that this conversation was very weird. It's very all of a sudden. No one ever had this conversation when she ran as vice president with Joe Biden. Nobody has said anything. Because I believe she had ran and then eventually she ended up being the vice president, running mate for Biden. No one cared. Nobody cared what she was. We assumed that she was black. You get what I'm saying? We saw her. I don't want to talk about the phenotypes. It is what it is, that 1% rule. And I still do believe that she is black. I think that she definitely is some mixture up in there. So she might be biracial, and that's okay. That don't mean that you're not black. But I just found it so weird that this has become like a viral conversation. It was because of Trump. Trump was the one that started it, but nobody cared about it until now. We have people doing think pieces on, actually her grandfather was Indian and her father was this and then it was that. And then I'm like, let me tell you something right now. I don't care if she blue, black, purple. I don't care if she's the rainbow, the embodiment of a rainbow. I don't care what she is, but I know that she's a better candidate than Donald Trump. Let's be very clear on that. Okay. I don't care. And I don't think that these news organizations should care and talk about this too. Yes, y'all should be talking about how Trump is trying to run this country like a dictator if elected. He is actively talking about policies that he wants to implement that is very similar to Project 2025, a project he knows nothing about, right? There's just a lot that's going on, and I feel like it is like for Anderson to try to sit there and like gaslight Charlemagne, sorry, and the other lady that was on there They say, oh, that's not happening, or well, I don't do that. I'm like, okay, we ain't talking about you. We ain't talking about you. We talking about your network. But I get it. You got to protect not protect your job. Yeah. In so many words, yeah, you got to protect your job and also represent it when people are coming for it. But I think that could have been like a real good opportunity for him to take accountability for his company, not his company, but the company that he works for, and say that, yeah, we probably do keep having these conversations and it really isn't productive, and we could be getting into Trump a little bit more because everybody know he got problems. I think what had happened was, and this is something that Sunny Halston said on The View, and it's the first time I watched The View and was not cringing, was when she said, I think after this assassination attempt, she didn't do these little fingers that I'm doing, these air quotes that I'm doing, but I'm doing it because you know how I feel about that. After that assassination attempt, I think that the media has definitely gone light on Trump, and people have amnesia from it. Oh my goodness, like he wasn't this bad man that people are portraying. That assassination attempt was probably the best thing that happened to his campaign, because now the media is laid back and they're giving him, oh, he got shot, so we got to be nice. We got to play nice while he's doing all this tomfoolery. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And I'm glad that Anderson Cooper got dragged along with the CNN network. Y'all need to come out of the closet and admit that you guys are y'all conservative news station. That's what this is. Y'all not toting the line. Y'all not a centrist. Y'all not nail. You are on the right. You're very much on the right. And you need to come out the closet. Okay? There's nothing else I want to say about this other than the fact, since we're on the topics of political conversations, okay, we're getting close to the election, so it's going to be like that for the next couple days. So Beyonce, okay, her and Kelly Rowland went to the Kamala Harris rally. Now here's what I gotta say. I gotta read this little excerpt and we'll get into the video and everything. But it said that Beyonce joined Kamala Harris on the campaign trail in Houston, officially demonstrating her support for the Democratic nominee in the 2024 presidential election with a speech, okay? Now, on Friday, October 25th, the 43-year-old superstar attended the rally in her hometown alongside her mother, Tina. Tina gonna always be there, child. Tina, look, let me tell you something. That's mine. At the end of the day, that's my child. I'm gonna be there. We love a supportive mother. And her longtime friend from the Destiny's Child girl group, Kelly Rowland, and the country music legend Willie Nelson. So there was a performance, it just wasn't Beyonce, with whom she collaborated for Cowboy Carter. Beyonce took the stage to introduce Harris, making it clear that she is a mother of three and she's concerned about the future of America. Beyonce shares her daughter, Blue Ivy, and twins Remy and Sir with husband Jay-Z. Okay, that's a family affair. I know that's right. Now here's what was said a little bit in this speech, okay?
We are so happy to be standing here on this stage as proud country Texas women supporting and celebrating the one and only Vice President Kamala Harris. A woman who's been pushing for what this country really needs right now: unity. It's impossible not to feel the energy in this room, the community, the humanity. We are at the precipice of an incredible shift, the brink of history.
Come on now.
I'm not here as a celebrity. I'm not here as a politician. I'm here as a mother who cares deeply about the world my children and all of our children live in. A world where we have the freedom to control our bodies. A world where we're not divided.
Yes.
Our past, our present, our future merge to meet us here.
All right. Type shit. Okay. Look.
The line is always moving.
Oh, girl, that was the wrong button for that, honey. I meant to just press the bomb. But anyway, so here is things, right? I loved everything that she said. I think that's really important. I think Kelly also came up and she made her speech. I don't have a clip of that, but she made her speech and she looking a real dashing and stuff like that. Beyonce and Kamala, she went to, look, people thought she was going to perform. That's the first thing I want to They was like, why didn't Beyonce perform? I think it's weird though to see these performances at rallies. Look, and this is really on both sides. I've seen people perform. We all saw Meg Thee Stallion perform at one of Kamala's rallies and stuff. It was very much doing her performances and people just sitting there, oh, okay, she on her Megan knees. It just would have been weird to see. I understand probably why she probably didn't do it. Beyonce has performed at rallies before. I believe she performed for Hillary when she was running. And that was the last time I think we saw Beyonce perform for free. She's at this part of her career. She says, you gonna see me performing? I'm gonna have to put a price tag on it, okay? You ain't gonna see this free performance. Okay, it's more power to her. She didn't have to perform. I think she wanted to sit there and she wanted to talk. She wanted to talk to the people, to rally them up. I think a couple rallies ago, or I think the last rally before this one, Kamala had Tyler Perry speak, and his commentary was very riveting and it gets you hyped for a potential of Kamala being president. I hope it happens. I hope it does happen. It is what it is. We'll just keep it moving. And people are saying, oh, why wasn't Michelle there? And she should have been there if they was representing Destiny's Child and this, that, and the third. Girl, we don't know where that girl stands politically. Look, let me stop. Okay. She probably has something to do. I know she's doing like Broadway, right? Like she's doing some type of live performance thing. I don't know. Maybe she got like a schedule or something. I don't know. She wasn't there. Okay. Another thing that kind of pissed me off with this topic, child. Okay, why Amber Rose had to just, every time this girl opens up her mouth just to pop her gums, I just immediately get pissed off. Do I even have this damn comment that she made? I don't. Good thing I don't. But apparently I'm paraphrasing because it doesn't really mean nothing. She says something to the effect of, oh my gosh, you want to be me so bad. Like she copied my entire speech. And I guess just looking at both speeches, the part where she was talking about being a mother was something that Amber spoke about earlier or first. And I'm like, girl, Beyonce's a mother too. You don't think that's something that's very important for her as a parent in worrying about how the state of the world, the state of the country, how that's going to be ran and stuff like that? Yes, you're going to have concerns for your children on both sides. So of course he was going to bring up her kids. What you said and what she said was two different things. The difference between what she said and what you said, honey, what you said was written by somebody else. Now, Beyonce, I'm not saying anything. Look, she got writers too, but I'm telling you, I think that this speech came from the heart. Like, this definitely felt like something that she put more thought into it. Amber, you were saying a lot of smoke and mirrors, honey. Okay, you were there for a check, and that's the difference. Because Beyonce actually don't need to be here. I'm not sure if she got paid or not. If she did, it's whatever. It's her business, just like it's your business, Amber. But Beyonce don't need to be here. You actually needed to be there because nobody's talking about you. And your influence does nothing to their side, ma'am. But anyway, teach his own, whatever. I guess some people are just narcissistic and they have to make everything about them. And look, we're all in their world. They run the world and we're all just living in their world or whatever. Some people just have those mindsets and there's really nothing you can do. Just like when you look at the crazy person at the subway acting irate, you just got it. They're in their own world. Just like Amber Rose, honey. Speaking of the Carter family, I wouldn't say the Carter family, Beyonce and her family. Girl, what's going on with Solange? Y'all heard about that? Girl, let me read this, honey. So they said that Solange briefly opened up about her battle with a handful of health conditions recently. She made the revelation after the musician and model explained in a recent Instagram post that she has been recovering from the aftermath of long COVID, including being diagnosed with POTS, an automatic nervous system disorder. Symptoms include a fast heart rate, feeling lightheaded or dizzy when you stand up, according to the Cleveland Clinic. Okay, now Solange sent a note of encouragement in the comment section of her post detailing her own health struggles. She wrote, "Sending you so much love and strength, Sean, and to all in the comments struggling with the debilitating, confusing, and lonely symptoms of POTS." Yeah, them post-COVID ailments is not a joke. Okay, I know some people that they caught COVID and they were good with it. They were good after the fact and stuff like that. And then things start messing up and things start happening. That's really like sad. I'm sorry to hear that she's going through that. It's very shocking because she's like on the younger side, right? Like she's not, and not for nothing, like COVID affected everybody. The biggest gym rats, the biggest people that were like pro healthy and eating right and nutrition and all this other stuff, all that under the sun, like this affected those people. You would think that this affected people that had chronic illnesses like a diabetes or someone that were older. But no, this was really attacking the younger crowd. Like, in Solange is probably, I think she's probably early 40s or maybe late 30s or something. I think she's like early 40s. That's still like super young. You get what I'm saying? And to see her going through these health problems, somebody said in the comments in this post, when your body really betrays you, that's just like the worst. And it happens out of nowhere. You get what I'm saying? It's so sad. I hope she's able to get through this though, because I never even heard of this sickness, child. POTS. That is something new or something I ain't never heard of, child. But hopefully she's able to overcome it. And she going through all this. Her son is running around, child, being a gangbanger, child. He over here posting up with guns and stuff. I'm like, ain't you supposed to be on your modeling tip? What's going on? What is happening over there with Solange and them, child? Oh my goodness. But nonetheless, child, let's move on, child, because I want to get to a more lighter note on things. Okay. Now, another topic that I wanted to get into, since we're on the news and music, I guess, because we've been talking about artists for the last couple minutes. Meg Thee Stallion. Okay. She says she's ready to drop Act 3 of her self-titled Megan album. Now, she just recently dropped her highly anticipated Deluxe, or Act 2, whatever you want to call it. It's her self-titled. And apparently she's going to be doing, like I said, she's doing Act 3. For starters, I was here for this little mixtape thing or whatever she wants to call this. I love Bourbon and Bigger in Texas. Those are my favorite songs. I did like the little song that she did, the sample with Sierra. That was cute. Take that, Stunner Girl. Okay. That's how you do it. Put up or shut up. Okay. And I'm going to just leave it at that. I love that Sierra sample. But for me, Bourbon and Bigger in Texas, that's going to be on the personal playlist. Let's be very clear. She's just rapping. She's rapping, and I think that's what it is. Somebody said this on Twitter too. They was like, Megan Thee Stallion is not trying to rap. Like, she's not trying to make hit music or popular. She's not trying to make popular music. There we go. Not hit music. She's not trying to make popular sounding music. The stuff that's going to get on the radio or stuff that's going to get little trends or this, that, and the third. Like, she's a rapper's rapper. You get what I'm saying? Because when I was sitting there listening to, I think it was Bourbon. Like, when I tell you that third verse, like, I was like, if you're not doing the stank face, that's when you know you ain't got you ain't rapping. You ain't rapping. You rhyming. Okay. You're just rhyming. Okay, and it may sound cutesy or whatever, this, that, and the third. It's okay, it's mediocre. But when you listening to a rap song and you do the stink face at the third verse, that's when you know you got a song that's doesn't matter if it's a hit or not, it doesn't matter if it goes viral, it doesn't matter if it's number one, but it is definitely like a timeless type of verse. And I feel like them two songs on there, people gonna remember them. Okay, I think I don't know how it's going to impact the charts. I don't really care about charts anymore because we know the charts are, people pick and choose when charts and numbers and streams and pure sales matter. That's why I'm like, I steer away from just judging based on that, because there's so many great like songs that are not even top 10 on iTunes. You get what I'm saying? Like, it's people literally stream farming their fave at this point. Like, it's like the stuff that's like top 10. It's not like, girl, I could look at the Billboard right now. None of the songs on there, or let me not say none of the songs, because there probably is some songs on there that is pretty good. But for the most part, it's not. I just don't go by the Billboard no more, child. Billboard is not credible. They don't really capture what's really in. They're just going based off of numbers. And like I just said, I don't want to loop around what I just said. I think that there was a line in there that people were saying that she was taking shots at Nicki. The whole youngest owner her masters, y'all old as hell still having a deal. saying that these girls, these older artists, they still got their deals with these record companies, but I own my masters at a young age, and not a lot of people was able to do that. Now, people were saying that she's talking about Nicki, and I think that we need to really think about that before we want to sit there and jump the gun and be like, oh, she go taking digs at Nicki. My question to that is just like, why do y'all always be saying that the dig is towards Nicki? It just says a lot about what you really think about her. Because if you remember, Nicki said she ain't never did no 360. There's proof of that she's not in a 360 deal. And we also heard that Nicki ain't speaking on it. Knock on wood. So if it ain't directed, it shouldn't be affected. I think that she could be talking about multiple people. A lot of people are in deals. A lot of older artists, newer artists. She has a unique deal with, I think, Warner Music Group, where basically she has creative control over her music. She owns her masters, of course, but she also still has a deal with Warner in that they help promote her albums and they help out with production. So she has a unique deal that not a lot of artists are actually able to do. And she was able to obtain this deal very early on in her career. This is like, what, the 5th year in her career? Like, she's been around for like about 4 or 5 years. I think that something like that, and something that average artists that are older than her aren't able to do and still aren't able to do, I think that's a flex. Pure sales or not, streams or not. Like, and for people to sit there and say that, oh, yeah, she may own her masters, but she's not, them songs that's under her roster or under her wing is not hits, so she's making pennies and this, that, and the third, that's not always true. Getting money from music, first of all, getting money from music, with the pure sales and stuff like that, it's not an artist's bread and butter anymore. You get what I'm saying? Okay, back in the day, like, people used to buy albums. Albums used to be, that was the only way we got new music. You go to the music store, you had to purchase the whole album. You couldn't go online and get a separate song, and not before, this is before iTunes. You get what I'm saying? Of course, yeah, you made a lot more money back then when it came to music, but nowadays, being that there are streaming, like, people are not even buying them anymore. They're streaming it. You only get like a certain cent to a couple 100,000 like streams and stuff like that. You're not making the money. I don't care how many streams that you're making. It's not as good as you going on tour or your music being used for samples or your music being used for different film or production groups. You get what I'm saying? So I think getting money from like your hit songs, that's like only a piece of the pie. Let's say like a production company or a film company wanted to buy, or not buy, but use Megan's song for a movie, show, whatever you want to call it. Unlike other artists that have deals, they would have to go to fill in the blank music group, wherever company that is, and they have to pay it through them. And the artist that's under that deal, they get whatever cut that music group wants to give them. When you own your masters, you get most, if not all, the profit. So I think that's a flex. And I get it. Like, not everybody like Meg Thee Stallion, because there's a lot of, Nicki Minaj owns the capital of female rap fans. Let's be very clear. There's more Barbs than there are other female rapper fans. You get what I'm saying? So Nicki will always have that. That's just it. And I think Meg understands that. And you know what? I'm gonna have my little fans. You have all the rest of them. But I own my masters. So if anybody wants to use my song, I'm getting the full profit off of it. There's other ways that you're making money other than the song just not being hit. Of course, maybe these songs ain't gonna hit. Technically, they're not hits. But it doesn't mean that it's not a success for Meg. That's just my take on that. But shout out to Meg.
Good for you.
I hope Act 3 is as good as Act 2, because this is working. This is definitely working. I wish some of the songs that she had on Act 2 was actually on their initial album, because I definitely feel like, looking back, there was definitely some throwaway songs. I'm just being honest. There was some throwaway songs that could have been scrapped, and maybe some of these songs that were on Act 2 should have been on the official album. But that's just me. I'm gonna give my honest opinion. But anyway, shout out to Meg. We can move on to our next couple topics, because we definitely got to get a little serious now, girl. The CEO of Abercrombie and Fitch, girl, he got arrested for girl sex trafficking. Girl, are we surprised? I'm not. And let's get into it. Let me read this little excerpt and then I'm going to give you guys my goddamn thoughts, okay? Now, apparently, according to the NY Post, the former CEO of Abercrombie and Fitch has been arrested in connection to sex trafficking investigations, okay? Now, authorities claim that Mike Jeffries and two of his business associates, Matthew Smith and James Jacobson, were allegedly sexually exploiting young men who wanted to model for the company. They claimed that over his 22-year tenure, he and Smith lured men into events around the world and allegedly forced them to take drugs, alcohol, and then sexually abuse them. Oh my God. They were reportedly recruited by Jacobson. The attorney for the plaintiff, Brad Edwards of the Edwards Henderson, told ABC News in a statement that, in quotes, we laid out our lawsuit. This was an Abercrombie-run sex trafficking organizations that permitted throughout the company and allowed 3 individuals arrested today to victimize dozens and dozens of young, aspiring male models. Now, he was arrested in West Palm Beach, Florida. His official charges have not been released yet due to the indictment currently being sealed. In most recent news, the former Abercrombie and Fitch CEO Mike Jeffries pleaded not guilty to any federal crime charges, according to CBS. Okay. When they say time's up, they mean exactly just that. That they're hitting all the spots in every industry. And I'm living for it. I'm here for it. This is good. This is what needs to happen. I remember watching the documentary about these. I think it was a documentary, excuse me, girl, I can't talk right now, about Abercrombie and Fitch and how toxic it was and I've spoke to people, I'm not going to say nobody's name, and not even just Abercrombie and Fitch, like it's Hollisters, all of them. It was a very like uppity, not even uppity, but you had to have that look to work at these stores. I remember I tried to work at Aeropostale because Aeropostale had plus size stuff. Like I was able to wear a lot of the Aeropostale stuff. So that's why I gravitated towards that company. And I wanted to work there because, girl, your uniform was wearing Aeropostale. Like you used to, and I was Aero down. Like I had the shirts and the pants and what's them things called? The polos with the button ups with the thing, the Aeropostale. Look, let me tell you something. That was my store because they accommodated to me. And I remember like I tried to apply. You go in there, you ask for a little application, this little white little twink. Oh, I guess he's old, so he wouldn't be considered a twink. Looked at me up and down, was like, here's your application. You just fill it out right there and then we'll give you a call. Never gave me a call. Honey, I guess I ain't looked the part, honey. But no, I remember someone had told me that they worked at Hollister. I'm not going to say their names, but like they worked at Hollister and they were told like, hey, you got to stay a certain size. And that could be really bad for somebody's like self-esteem, especially if somebody's going through a lot of body troubles and stuff like that. I definitely went through body dysmorphia. I'm still going through it, child. Hearing the people's stories on this Abercrombie and Fitch, back to the documentary that I just brought up, hearing a lot of people's stories on how they were fired because they got too big or they didn't look the part or they had to work in the back or they were quiet firing where they sit there essentially just take you off the schedule just because you don't fit the mold. The whole lookbook thing. Like there was this black man that was on Twitter and was talking about how like his experience of being like, oh, I wasn't picked for being one of the models, but like I was being put on the lookbook, and apparently when they look for certain demographics of people, like they want to have someone that has the same features. Like it was weird. And watching that documentary, I always had a looming thought, like maybe something else was going on with this company because this is weird. This is very weird. It's one thing because I always knew about Abercrombie and Fitch. Like I never saw any, like the stores that I went to that was in my area. I ain't never saw no models there. And because I remember people used to say, no, there used to be models that were like half naked there and they would just walk around and stuff like that. I'm like, I don't remember that. But see, I also never really got into Abercrombie and Fitch. Let me tell you something. When I went into that store, because I went into that store one time. Okay. I went into that store just to look because I wasn't going to be able to buy nothing in there, child, because I probably couldn't fit one of their watches, honestly. But I remember seeing the clothes and you would think, honey, you was at a Child's Place. Because remember the little Child's Place stores? That's what it felt like. It felt like Justice. Like the clothes was like tiny. These look like baby clothes. You get what I'm saying? So I just knew that they didn't have size that accommodated to everybody, which is it's whatever. That's part of the reason why that's what these damn companies get for all that time of not having inclusive sizes and stuff like that. But to think that they actually got into some type of sex trafficking stuff, like y'all was getting these models to get drinking and drugs and all this other stuff to do whatever devious thing you wanted them to do. It's really disgusting. And I'm glad that it's now being outed and people are realizing that these stores, these companies, they really ain't dang. And I think it's bad too. I think it's sad. Like, it's not sad for him because I don't care about that CEO, but it's like, it does put a stain on the community a little bit. The community, I'm over here doing my little, it makes us look like deviants. And I'm never the type of person to be like, cause look, what one person do in their life, they ain't got nothing to do with me just cause we in the same community. But like it does set like a precedent on like how people view us and stuff like that. These sexual deviants that this is grooming, and this is horrible. This should not be happening. These people wanted to have careers as models, and they were given this. It's going to be a lot more companies coming out or people coming out talking about these companies and how toxic they are and how much they really do take advantage of their workers. Yeah, times is coming. Look, time's up. Okay, period. Times is up. And I'm here for it. Anyway, let's get into our last topic before I get up out of here, child. Because, girl, it's going to be a long edit, honey. I already started the dang video late. I wanted to talk about Bobby Lytes for a little bit, and then we'll get up out of here, child. Now, apparently, okay, Bobby Lytes is giving Tommie Lee the opportunity to retract her false statement that he has AIDS, or he will be filing a defamation suit against her. Okay, do we have the video? Because apparently it wasn't like part of the show, but it was definitely like a good little section in there. Oh, there we do got it. Here it is.
I rebuke you, you dirty ass bitch. What's up? Oh yeah, I rebuke you, bitch. I rebuke you. Same person that I rebuke you. I am getting it here, baby. Here. I love Addie McJesus, bitch.
Yeah, I mean, you barely heard it, but she definitely said it. He made like this big old statement. I'm not going to say nothing about that. He really is going in. This really is something that hurt him. Rightfully so. It's definitely something that you don't want to get called. If you got it, if you don't got it, don't matter. It's just something that is just a negative stigma, and it's something that was borderline homophobic, what she said. I'm not ruling out the fact that what she said was wrong. What she said was wrong. What she said was definitely disrespectful. And not only did it disrespect him, because who cares about Bobby, but just like a community of people that are living with this disease. And it's just, what a horrible thing to say. However, we are on a show, we're in a community, an environment, shall I say, that showcases the worst of everyone who gets on it. This is Zeus Network. This is baddies. These people, you get your jaw broken. This girl pulled out somebody's tooth. Okay. Somebody brought a gun, is what I'm hearing in their current season that they're taping for. You get what I'm saying? Like, yeah, so hitting below the belt that's okay. That's, and I'm not saying that it's right, but I'm just saying that when you get on shows like this and people that's like Tommie and Stunna Girl and like all them girls is up in there, Biggie, Rolly, all them, they are toxic people. They don't care about your feelings. They don't care about what you're going through, what you tell them behind closed doors, allegedly, because we don't know what the real deal is. She could just be talking shit. They're going to blow it back up into your face. Bobby, you not new to this. You not new to this. You know, when you get on a show with somebody, maybe not talk about your personal stuff. If it's true. We don't know if it's true. Because they'll blow it back up into your face. Or they'll make lies and people will believe it anyway. But my thing is, this is him trying to sue her for defamation. He's going to have to actually publicly, get a test. Because that's what happened with Cardi. Because I think Tasha K said that Cardi had like herpes or something like that. And then obviously Cardi sued or whatever for defamation. And Cardi actually literally had to take a test to see if she had herpes to prove that she didn't have it. So you have to do that. I'm just saying, look, you would have to divulge that information. If it got to, I don't think it's that serious. I just think that you just, well, let me just stop. Let me not say that. I don't think that it's not that serious. It is serious, but I don't think that you should probably be suing her. I don't think it's going to be good for you. I think that you should just cut her loose. Move on. You said your piece. She said her piece. Tommie is not the type to apologize. She said what she said. You remember when she got up there and she was being a damn fangirl that Chris Brown ain't want no parts of her? And then she started coming for Chris Brown, child. Saying the boy, albino and stuff. Like, Tommie just don't got no coof. Like, you should know. And like I said, Bobby, you're not new to this. Like, this girl ain't got no coof. Like, just stay away from her. That's just all I'm gonna say about that, child. That's it. That's all I gotta say about this topic, girl. We'll move on. Well, actually, no, we're done. Hope you guys enjoyed the show. As you guys know, if you miss anything on the show for the We Are You Radio listeners, you can listen to this podcast anywhere on YouTube or at your preferred podcast platform. We really did do a lot here. It's going to be a crazy edit, but I always get it done, child. I always deliver. See you guys next time. All right.